Well, aloha kahiaka, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Kay, and you are with us on the Aloha Friday Hawaii Real Estate Show. Welcome. Today's June 20th, 2024, and you are with us live. Hopefully, you're with us live. And so we're going to have a great, of course, we're going to have a great show for you today. As usual, here's what we got. We got the lineup for today is we're going to do some market updates to find out what's kind of going on in the real estate market. We've got your questions, of course. We have a bunch of questions queued up that we're going to be going over, and as well as live questions. We got some diamonds and deals, some properties that we're going to be showing you that we think are really fun to cool, either diamonds and or deals or both. And then we're going to close with some motivational thoughts. So the first thing that we're going to do to get this show going here is we are going to warm up. It's time to warm up with our friends who are joining with us. We need to get the internet's going. And so we got clockwise. We got Dylan Onaka from the Big On. We have Coach Kara Crimmins from Maui. Welcome, Coach Kara. And then we have Ashley Wasson from Oahu. Welcome, you guys. I'm glad that you guys are all here with us. So let's warm up the internet. So why don't we start with you, Ashley? Ashley, I have to ask, of course, what's the lay? Is it your birthday today? What's the occasion? It's a beautiful lay.
It's my anniversary. So he just gave it to me before I hopped on this morning. So it's a special flower that he holds dear to his heart.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for
Thank you.
muting us on the thanks
I
for
know
muting
they
us
started
on the
barking
dogs.
right now.
That's okay. On cue. Dogs are on the dogs are cute. So Ashley, is today your anniversary? How many years?
Yes, today is the anniversary. It's the 20th, and it's great. Yeah, I have a very loving, supporting household now. So it's a first for me in my life of having a partner. I was a single mom for a long time, so it's been truly special for me. So I'm very happy.
Congratulate. How many years? How many years what is the nth celebration? Is it how many
It's
years?
just 2 years. It's still
2
new.
years. Congratulations. Good for
Thank
you.
you.
Good for you. Good for you. You know what? Something that you might find interesting here is that my wife and we celebrated our anniversary yesterday. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah. Yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and I was telling Dylan, finally the federal government was wised up to making our anniversary a federal holiday, which is it's about time. It's
So
about
I'm
time.
assuming
So
it's more than 2 years. How
it
many
was
years was it?
yes, 33, 33,
Congrats. That's amazing.
33 years. Yeah, yeah. It was actually really funny. We went to High Steakhouse and it was really kind of cool because High Steakhouse on Oahu, it's a really great place. The last time we were at High's was on our first date, which was 35 years ago. 35 years ago. So that was kind of
And
cool.
it's still open, which is a
Still
testament to
open.
the restaurant too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Highs is cool.
Does
Peter,
does Audie
give
All right.
still
me
play music
give me
there?
two tips. Two tips after the
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. No, no, no. I don't know. I don't. He was not there. He was not there. They
Okay.
remodeled it. It was really cool. It was really kind of cool to be there. So, all right. Enough about me. Kara, give us the update. How are you doing in Maui today? How's Maui's weather?
Maui is always this beautiful paradise, the greatest place to come to see. Right now, we are weathering the storms of the Vogue coming over from the Big Island, but we're still looking for the rainbows, as always, my favorite thing to look for. We have had a lot of updates in our market, and we have a lot to share about Maui today. So happy
Awesome.
to tell the
Awesome.
story.
Awesome. So thank you, Karma. I'm looking forward to this. And by the way, if you're joining us, make sure you let us know. We'd like to get let us know where you're from. Let us know that you're. Say hello. We'd like to recognize everybody who's with us. So thank you, Kara. Dylan, give us an update. What's the shirt? What's the shirt and how's Kona?
Kona's beautiful today, but it's been raining like every afternoon, like crazy. It's been super wet, so just enjoying the sun until the rain comes in. But it's usually sunny down in town where my office is at, and then where my house is at. It rains in the afternoon. But I'm actually wearing the custom. This is we are I think I will claim they're the only real estate organization in the country that has a custom Aloha shirt. So this is our logo, and it's incorporated with the actual Lauhala leaf, the Lauhala plant is this thing, and that's what they make the the mats out of. And so, my friend Chrissy Henriques, who is the designer of these, asked us a while back if we would want something like this, and we did. And so it's been out for about a year now, and now there's a bunch of different colors. So it started off with just black and gold, and there was about 6 months where only we did special orders for our team, and then now she's made it public to everybody, and there's a bunch of different colors. So pretty cool. But I see it all over town now. So I don't know if people know, what they're wearing, but they've been advertising for us all over town. So
And that's totally cool. That is totally cool. And a really fun claim to fame is you have the only custom Aloha shirt in the real estate brokerage industry. There you go. Excellent.
there you go.
Excellent. Good on you. Terrific. Good job. All right. Hey, I've got some news I want to kind of go over, and you folks can take it as talking points or whatnot. But let me get to some fun I had, as I usually do with the market. So Dylan, I'd be curious to get your feedback on this. Apparently there's kind of a housing scandal that's happened on the Big Island. There was a dishonest public worker and his partners slurped up millions of dollars by illegally manipulating a complex system of affordable housing credits. I don't know the details of how they all did it, but I just know it's like, well, you put people in power, power corrupts, right? So I'm not surprised, but I'm be curious what Dylan says about this. So Honolulu inflation, mixed bag. We got inflation is some of the highest. Honolulu, unsurprisingly, has some of the highest inflation rates in the country, and so it ticked up a little bit in May as well. And so we're hoping that that's going to be under control. But that came out in the news. So the Maui rental debate, Kara, be curious some feedback on that one. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There's all pros and pros and cons. People, there's full days of testimony. They're looking at taking 6,000 vacation rentals off the market. A lot of controversy, a lot going on back and forth. So it's going to be quite interesting. Hawaii drowning crisis. This is interesting. There was a story that I did not expect to see, which was Hawaii has some of the second largest per capita drownings. And I got this chart that I was able to catch up with, which is interesting here. So let me put it this way. So take a look at that. So interesting. 14 people drowned of picking opihi. So that's kind of a unique Hawaiian thing. And fishermen fishing from the shore, 17 people. But look at the big numbers, by the way, on snorkeling. Visitors drawn from snorkeling. That's a big one, and from swimming, of course. But what's interesting about this, again, it's not so much that it's somewhat expected, that visitors would drown, sadly. But what's not expected is the number of local residents who drown. We have some of the highest per capita. So Hawaii's beautiful, folks, but don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by Hawaii's beauty. Do not be fooled. It is dangerous. Kilauea too. Check this out. 1,000 feet high. This is like a crazy 1,000 feet in the air. Talk about wish you could see it, but unfortunately, it's not like it's kind of transient. It kind of comes and goes. But I thought that was really kind of an amazing situation over there. And then finally, it looks like we may be getting out of the pineapple growing business and maybe get into the tequila business. There's a farmer that is one of the Maui, actually, one of Maui Land and Pineapple. Maui Land and Pineapple. They're doing a transition, they're trying to establish an agave farm on the Valley Island. So viva le tequila is what I got to say. So that's my answer on that one. So great. So hey, listen, we had a few folks I want to kind of shout out to over here. Who Rachel is with us over here, which is hey Rachel from Conley, Hawaii. Aloha and good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. And Rich P from Minnesota. Rich, welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. And Michael Lada, welcome back, Michael. Good to see you, buddy. Aloha from San Diego. If you're with us, give us a shout out. We'd like to know that you're here and say hello. And we're going to go from there. All right. So let's get a market update on what's going on. Why don't we start? Let's do clockwise now. Dylan, start with you. Give us the update on what's happening on the Big Island. Then we'll go to Maui and then Oahu. What's up, Dylan?
Yeah, so I was just looking at some month-to-date numbers this morning to kind of see, project out where we're at in June compared to last year, compared to May. And it's looking like June is going to be pretty similar to May. Month-to-date, last month we had 268 sales. Month-to-date this month we have 275. So a few more, but not significantly more. But an interesting stat that I looked at looking back, and I always like to look at stuff over time. And last May, there was 441 sales on the island, and we were talking about last show how slow May was this year, and there was 361. So like pretty significant. I mean, like a 20%, 25% decrease in the number of sales year over year. But then last year, if we're looking at 2024, we went from 441 sales in May of last year to 337 in June. So like a huge drop off, like 100 less sales month to month, May to June last year. But then this year, it's looking like June's going to be about the same. May was a huge difference, and then June's going to be about the same as it was last year. So what does all that mean? Who cares, right? It just seems like it's very volatile right now. Like there isn't really a lot of predictability in the market. Like stuff is just, some months it's good, some months it's not. It's kind of all over the place. There really isn't a ton of rhyme and reason or trend to what's going on. But at the end of the day, things are slower year to date this year than they were last year. But prices are pretty much holding steady. Just kind of looked at a couple of different sub markets over the last couple of days, for sellers who are looking to sell and wondering, should I wait? Should I sell now? And it's pretty much, I mean, I can't guarantee it's going to be way better in the next few months. There's no reason not to really list right now. But it's definitely less buyer demand this year than we saw last year. But the low inventory is kind of propping up prices like we've been talking about for years now, right? The inventory still continues to be very, very low. And the last thing I'll mention here, which is a very interesting stat, nationwide, and I think Kara might have been in our meeting, so she heard it, right? But I'll ask you guys, like, do you know how many listings are on the market nationwide right now? Like, take a guess. Nationwide, how many listings are on the market? Nobody knows. So it's a million, right? It's a million listings on the market nationwide. And what does that mean, right? I mean, like, really in context doesn't really matter. If you looked at 2006, what would be your guess as how many listings were on the market in like the height of the, before the bubble burst?
Probably $1,000,001, $1,000,002, same.
Under a million.
There was 4 million listings on the market in 2006. Like we are at 25%. So anybody who thinks there's some crash coming or there's some crisis coming, like that stat in and of itself is so dramatic that we are so undersupplied as a country right now in terms of housing, that even though the market is slow, even though there's all this turmoil nationwide and macroeconomically and stuff, just from a supply standpoint, there's really that's gonna keep housing prices stable. So looking forward into the future, I think there's no reason to be really fearful right now, because it's a very different market than it was back then.
That's an astounding number. That is a shocking.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
That is a mind blowing number. 4 million. There were 4 million when the market was crashing in 2008. Right, is what you're saying. We're 4 million. Before it crashed, right before the crash, right? Yeah, 4 million were on the market. Now we have 1 million. Wow. Hey, Dylan, I wanted to ask you, how would you characterize the psychology if I was a buyer, right? If I was a buyer, give me a summary of what you think the psychology of the sellers are. What's it like for what do I as a buyer? What's your advice to me about the way I want to go about this?
I think there's two distinct camps right now, and I think Kara and Ashley would, I'd like to get your take on this. There's like the regular home buyer, the first time home buyer, the person that needs to just live in a house that has a solid job, they live here. That market is stable. Like if you need to buy a house and you're qualified, people are still buying homes. The other camp is like that second homeowner, that investor, that VRBO person, that buyer maybe buying a retirement home early. That market is very soft right now. Those folks are apprehensive. They're not sure what they want to do with their money. They have money, it's safe. It's like, in stocks or, savings or whatever, or maybe it's in another investment property that they'd want to exchange. So that's really kind of what we're feeling. I think across the state with the condo market, you're definitely seeing that, right? A lot of condos are more of a second home investment type of product, and we're seeing that market be very slow. But the single family home market across all the islands is strong. We're still seeing those, as long as they're priced reasonably and everything makes sense. I mean, we're seeing those continue to move. So yeah, it depends on kind of what camp you fall into as a buyer. But if you're that investment type buyer, there's no better time because there's so many opportunities right now. I mean, I'm seeing crazy stuff. Like we just put a property in an escrow that's contingent on 2 other properties selling. Like our buyer needs to sell 2 properties to buy an upgraded property. And 2 years ago, that wasn't even like a thing. Like there's no chance in hell that you would have got that offer accepted. But right now, sellers are being reasonable because they're like, hey, this thing's been sitting for a few months, 6 months, and I want to really get it moved. And so they're willing to work with a buyer in ways that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. We've been talking about that last few shows. So I'm definitely seeing that.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So the opportunity. So single family market's kind of really stable. It's the investment market, the second family home market, the vacation rental market that's got a lot of kind of play to it. Excellent. Great. Hey, thanks for that. Quick shout out to Steve Boyer. Hey, welcome back, Steve. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome back to the show. Salt Lake City. Good to see you. I'm actually I'm going to be flying out to Salt Lake City in August. I am going on a sacred road trip that starts for me in Salt Lake City, which that's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's move on. By the way, if you've joined us, give us a shout out. We'd like to know that you're here and say hello back. Coach Kara, give us the update. How's Maui doing? What's the thing with the vacation rental issue? Give us whatever you want to talk about as far as you have a lot of where I'm eagerly anticipating. You teased us with your Maui update. Now I want to hear it.
All right. I have to say that I'm going to second what Dylan had to say regarding the difference in between the residential market and the condo market. As you know, if you've been watching any news out there about Maui, the condo market has its own special flavor right now. But right in the residential pocket, we've actually seen a little decrease in the closed sales. However, our prices are still staying solid year or month over month. That really hasn't changed too much in the residential market because, as Dylan said, the people that are looking to buy are staying away from the condos and they're going straight for the residential market. And what I've seen is going faster than anything is units that have an attached ohana or a detached ohana or anything that would offer an income generator, because previously it was income generation from the condo market. Now they're looking for anything that has residential living and the long-term opportunity for increase of their income, because that's what they're seeing the market here is driving people to. So if you are an investor, we're seeing anything that has that second income opportunity rising in the ones that are sold first, even more so than just straight residential. So I thought that was an interesting breakdown when I looked at it. It's like that's going hot right now, especially because of what's being driven by Prop 9, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, the condo market, obviously, we know that is many listings on the market. We are at 800 condos. That is actually down from 847. But what I thought is, we had this great increase in sales. That's not actually what happened. They're starting to take condos off of the market and sit and wait. Instead of having this, people are looking to buy. It's not that the increase in sales is happening. It's that they're going into, I'm going to pull it off the market because at this point, I have no idea what's happening. And we recognize as a seller that the buyers aren't buying because there's so many people waiting to see what's happening, that they don't want the days on market to continue to increase. And it's kind of a moot point at this point for some of the sales that I've looked at. So even though we're decreasing in new listings, it's because things are coming off of the market. The days on market are not any surprise. We're up 48.9% at an average of 140 days on market. And that was previously at 98 days or 94 days actually. And that's a substantial amount because of what we're looking at. Nobody is really sure of what Prop 9 is going to be doing here on Maui. So we're in a massive stall, but like Dylan said, if you're an investor, now's the smart time to get in. As the prices start to decrease, you want to get in on the condos because I think everything in real estate is cyclical. And this Prop 9, no matter what happens with it, having a decrease in the cost of a condo here on Maui, Maui is still one of the #1 rated places to see across the nation. So have those savvy investors start thinking about snapping up 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or more condos, and then that might be the place to go.
Thank you, Kara. So Prop 9, for everybody who's not familiar with it, Prop 9 is what is Prop 9?
Prop 9 is a bill that is out by Mayor Bisson that is suggesting that the short-term vacation rentals in the apartment zone, Metatoya list zone, is to be converted into long-term housing for our Maui residents. And that's it in a nutshell.
So that's gonna. So this is the one that I caught on the news that they're looking at maybe about 6,000 units or so are going to be pulled off of a no longer sort of available as vacation rentals. Are going to go for residential. So and I know that everyone's kind of holding their breath, and there's no really clear indication of which way that this thing is going to go unless you've got some some insights that you want to share. It's going to be interesting when this thing it's going to go one way or the other. Who knows, right? And we don't know which way it's going to go. It'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen with the market after it goes, right? After it goes, it's going to be really interesting because you're going to have a whole lot of inventory is going to be released, a whole lot of pent up or not. It's going to be wild to watch.
Mm-hmm. And we have a lot to talk about that, but I'll let Ashley go on her market updates because this Prop 9 could be a show in and of itself. So you tell me.
I'm sure. Yeah, really. We need to do a Prop 9 show. But speaking of awesome shows, Misty has joined us. Misty Padilla, good morning, living in Hawaii family. Good morning to you, Misty. It's great. Thanks that you're being here. And Misty is, hey gang, I want to give a pitch to you. Want to be here on the other Fridays because that's the one that Misty leads. She is the host on those other Friday shows. And thank you, Misty, for heading up that other Friday and being a phenomenal host. You're an awesome guest. I know that. So it's amazing. So thank you. Thanks, Misty. All right, Ashley, your turn. You've heard also from Dylan and from Karen kind of what's going on. Be kind of curious to how the Oahu market is either contrasting or similar or whatever else you want to add.
Oahu, we've been going through our battle with Airbnb laws for a while now. So we're still in the trenches with that. And I feel like the other islands have been a little bit more catered to homeowners up until now. So I feel you, Maui, for sure. So June 1st to 15th, we've had 325 sales so far, comparing that to last year at 340 sales. So we're on track. That's not a huge difference. Compare that to 2019 pre-COVID, there's 387 sales. So about 17.5% less compared to pre-COVID market. And Dylan gave me the idea to look at 2008 to compare. And I'm sorry, my internet's lagging. Sorry, guys. But comparing that to 2008 market, there's 586 sales. So that's 57.5% less sales right now than 2008 market. For perspective, there is still room to grow. Yes, we're increasing in inventory, but there is still a lot more room to go for our sales. The price point, so I'm not even going to break it down for single family to condo. We're just going to go with an average between the two. We don't have tons of land sales to incorporate in our statistics, but average price point for this year, June 1st to 15th, we're at $747,500 on average. Last year, same time, $785,000. And so not a huge difference there. 2019 was $605,000. However, I do want to have that caveat that last year, even though it was $785,000 in median price point, the month before in May was $686,000. So last year, there is a $100,000 jump from May to June on average price point. And then it went back down. So it's our summer market. We anticipate it getting a bit more hot. Things are moving hot off the shelf. Things that I've had sat on the market for a bit now, almost everything has gotten contracts just in the last week. So we're definitely seeing a big pickup.
That's interesting. I'm wondering if that's the one thing that we've not looked into is to kind of see if Oahu are there any leading or trailing indicators? Is Oahu a leading indicator, or certainly not in this case, or trailing indicator? But does things picking up on Oahu, does that translate in? That would be interesting. I have no idea if that's the case or not. So
I say it all the time. PCS season is a huge market for us. So whenever we have PCS season, it's April to August.
And PCS means?
That's when you change posts in the military. So when we have an influx of military that are coming and going, We have April to August. A lot of people start shopping in advance. People come here, they stay in hotels or on barracks. They have temporary housing, and then they really start pulling the trigger around this time. So we always see a pretty hot bump in these months, in addition to it just being the summer market. So everyone coming
Got
to
it.
look at their summer homes. Their kids are going to be starting college here soon through their summer breaks. So I don't know. Do you guys see the same thing on your island?
Nope.
Not the
It
same.
says- it
No
looks like
military
it's-
here.
Yeah, no military here
no.
either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Permanent
that's it.
change
Well,
of
that's
station. That's what PCS stands for. Permanent
Thank
change
you.
of station.
permanent change of station. Thank you. Thank you, Dylan. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, great. Hey, I want to give I want to recognize a few folks over here. Jesse, Naomi, Grace, who chimes in here and says, yeah, good morning, lovely people. Misty is amazing. Indeed. Indeed, she is, of course. Thanks, Jesse. And Kahea jumped in. Aloha, happy Aloha Friday. Yeah. Aloha Friday, man. That is the one. And now, and of course, this is great because now everybody stop by
Get some advertising and some free
64-7.
advertising.
I love it, Jesse.
Everybody drop by. Everybody get to 64-713 Akua place. So yeah, you want to all do that. Excellent.
Jessie
Good,
said she's
good.
making homemade cookies for that, so just stop by for the cookies at least. I was thinking about driving up
is-
there for the cookies. So
Stop by for the cookies, man.
And her good
Stop by for the
energy.
cookies.
She's one of the most incredible women I know too. So
That's awesome. You guys are great. Fantastic. And speaking of awesome, incredible women, is Judy's with us as well. Hey, Judy. Welcome back,
Hey,
Judy.
Judy.
One of the founding members of the Islander. Ohana has been on Dylan's team and is finding her way through the Big Island. Some cool stuff going on over there. So great, Judy. We're really glad that you're here with us. All right. Hey, let's do a quick station break over here. If you, how did you get here? If you got the invite on the newsletter about the show with the links, you're good. But if you did not, make sure you go to livinginhawaii.com. Click on just go to the site. A thing will pop up. Put in your email address. You'll get the newsletter. There's amazing boatloads of content that is coming over since Dylan and his have taken over the site. They are like producing stuff like that's amazing. You got the weekly shows that are happening and great stuff. So you want to be a part of that. Of course, it's free. Of course, it's easy. All right. And then look, we're going to get to, we got some questions that I want to talk about. This is an Ask Us Anything show. So if you've got anything you want to ask, no matter what it is, ask it with the team. We've got a great collection of people that are going to be with us and taking it. So I've got so here's a question that got popped in that I thought it would be fun to talk about. Everybody loves to eat, right? We all love to eat, right? So okay, so let's talk about. I kind of want to hear is like, okay, here's what I want. I want like the best local. Where would in like not the fancy restaurants, right? The fancy restaurants are like they're awesome, they're amazing, they're incredible. But what I want is like, give me like the best dive restaurant. I like dive, like the dive kind, the place where you'd be full. That's like a home cooked meal kind of a place that, hole in the wall, you name it. Like I want to kind of hear about that. That's the one I want to hear, like a plate lunch place or whatever. So why don't we start with you, Ashley, and then let's go you, then Kara, and then Dylan. But before we do that, I want to give a quick hello to Sheila Johnson. See, I have glasses now. I finally caved in. I got a prescription glass so I can actually see the screen. And people are saying hello. So aloha from Houston, Texas. Aloha, Sheila. Welcome. All right, Ashley, what's your favorite dive restaurant or plate lunch or whatever?
I'm vegetarian, so I'm not gonna get anyone excited.
Well, what's your favorite? I'm sure there's vegetarians that are watching. Vegetarians want a good restaurant too. Where do you go?
In Kailua, there is a Mexican food truck that parks by the Hardware Hawaii. They just moved their truck this week to the parking lot right behind it. And I am telling you, it is by far, hands down, the best Mexican food. It is so good. This guy grinds all day and he just drives up, and it's kind of like a dirty old truck. And it is just the most amazing thing in the world. And I tell people about it, and they're the only thing open up pretty late here too, besides California Pizza Kitchen. So I would say if you're on the east side, Kailua, that is like, oh my God, I just love it. And it's like $15 or $18 for just a burrito, and it lasts me 2 days. Oh my God, it's so good. I have others, but they're vegan, and that's not going to interest anyone. And one of them just closed yesterday. North Shore Cosmic Kitchen has just the best sandwiches. It's in this little grocery store that is also kind of looks like the structure should be abandoned at some point soon, but it's a little grocery store and there's like a cat that walks through and everything. And they've got a bunch of health food in there. And it's this really old building next to the post office in Haleiwa. And if you walk to the back of that grocery store room building, there's a little kitchen back there called Cosmic Kitchen, and they just make the best sandwiches ever.
All right, so now see you've hit, because as you know, there are like next to no good Mexican restaurants in Hawaii. It's like a desert of Mexican restaurants. There's
I
none.
know.
So this truck is where now? Because I'm gonna go to this truck. Where is this truck?
It is in Kailua. He comes at
Yeah.
night and it's not a set time. His hours are not accurate online. He says he closes at 6 p.m. and he doesn't even arrive there until like 6 p.m., maybe 7. You call him and he's like yelling in the truck, almost there. He's from Mexico. He's trying to save up money to get back to Mexico. He works day job and then he does his food truck in the night. Like last night, I was so hungry and I called him. I was like, are you still here? It was 9:30 at night. And he's like, yeah. And like randomly now he's open until 10 o'clock, which,
So where does he park the food truck?
So it's, if you're going to Hardware Hawaii in Kailua, it's
Hardware
the
Hawaii,
building
okay.
right behind it. He just got a spot with them to park in their driveway. So right across from Boardroom.
All right.
You can't miss it. It's a bust up white truck that has a really loud generator in it. And it is so flipping good. I lived in California for years too. And it's Mexico good.
Damn, that's okay. I gotta go. That's worth driving up to. All right. Thanks, Ashley.
Hungry,
That's great.
Ashley.
Yeah. Mexican food. I missed that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Coach Kara, what's your favorite dive restaurant in Maui?
Okay, I have two because everybody loves Maui for fresh fish. So the South Maui Fish Company, it's a food truck. It's not bus up. It's actually a beautiful, beautiful food truck. And if you go down South Kihei Road, if you pass Black Rock Pizza, it's right there on the corner of South Kihei Road and Waimahihi. And it's absolutely incredible. That's a fresh catch. They always come in. The owner is a chef, like an actual chef that is delicious. They give you big portions. And it's in this little cool shopping center. So you can get some cool shirts and things right there as well. Very, very delicious. You can get, what is it called? Non-gluten-free or not, no, gluten-free tortillas. So that way, if it's everything's there for you. So that's the best dive place for the fish. Now, just a local food like local grinds is Sparky's. Hands down, it's at 385 Ho'ohana. Huge portions. High-end, great prices. And you wouldn't expect it. It's like in this warehouse, and I've driven by it so many times when I was first trying to find it. I'm like, is that it? But then you walk in and you just get your plate lunch and you leave, and it is so good.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, listen, Kara, before we move on to Dylan, I wanted to hit, we got a question here from Travis. Travis says, how likely do you think it is that the ban on STRs in Maui will happen? Any sense of that, Kara, at all? Either way?
From what everybody has been listening to in all of the testimonies, we find that it's going to be hard to actually pass that. But there's still 2 more testimonies that we're waiting to hear. And I just believe, like Oahu, Ashley maybe could speak to this, that it's going to be hard to truly transition that to law. So I'm holding on that. So we'll see. We're waiting to see.
We don't know for sure what's going to happen, but I can tell you for sure what will happen is if they do pass something, there will be massive lawsuits to overturn it, because that's the apprehension, is that when you take somebody's ability to use a property that the way they've been using it for 30 years away from them, that's it gets into the realm of eminent domain, and it becomes a constitutional issue.
100%.
And so it's very difficult to roll back. And that's why a lot of new zoning and new regulations, if you see, there's always like a grandfathered segment, right? So they'll do it going forward. You can no longer do this, or going forward, and we're going to do away with disability or whatever. But it's hard to retroactively do that from a legal standpoint. So that's and we've already seen that on Oahu with the, when was that actually? Maybe like 5 years ago they passed the regulation, and then 6 months later, 8 months later, it was overturned because of the court cases.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
that
governor,
is
governor said, or not governor, the senator said that it's unconstitutional, and that when he speaks to that, that's why I was looking to you, Ashley, because you've actually had the experience of it going through and then being overturned. Is that if it does happen, I believe that we're going to be locked up for quite some time before it's settled.
It was overturned, but what stuck is the 30 days. So yes, the 90 days was overturned, which was crazy, like crazy unconstitutional, but we still have 30 days. And now they're putting $10,000 fines here on Oahu, and they just hired a bunch of staff to track it. And they're working on AI developments to be able to monitor it, because they haven't done a good job monitoring it unless someone reported it. So, I mean, on Oahu, I'd say we're one of the stricter islands when it comes to Airbnb. It's tough on this island. And I'm an unconventional investor. And even if I'm saying that, and I'm pretty unconventional, then it means something. There's a little bit more weight on that statement.
Something to be said about that. Yeah, thanks, Ashley. So Travis, hope that helps. And Travis says many thanks. You all do a great job. I'm quite a faithful viewer. Excellent, Travis. This is the first time I've seen you comment. This is great. We're glad that you're here, and we're really glad that you joined us. And I hope this is we're blessed with having some amazing people over, and a more amazing thing before we go to Ashley. You did a good job, Ashley. In getting us with the burrito here. So Judy is hungry. I'm with you, Judy. I am going to try to I'm tracking this place down. I'm dying for some good Mexican food. Hey, Travis, been watching for 3 years, bruh. Now is the first time you say hello. Okay, I'm glad you did. So silent.
I'm just privileged about Maui. Let's bring it, Travis.
Yeah,
thank you.
Silent but deadly. All right. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, and then finally, before we go to
one more comment on the vacation rental thing, which I think is important for folks to consider. Right, is when you have this big general fear around vacation rentals, it affects the whole entire market. Where there is plenty on Maui and all the islands of resort zoned condos that absolutely allow vacation rentals that will never be touched. But those folks also suffer from the general fear in the marketplace. So that's the thing to really consider, is if you're looking to do short-term vacation rental investment, there are still plenty of opportunities that are very, very safe that are not going to be overturned or are not being tried to be banned. These are segments of the island, segments of different zonings and things like that are being affected. So that's one thing to consider. Just talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, that knows the different zonings, and we can put you into a very safe vacation rental investment all the time. And there's some opportunities there too, because people just think like it's all one blanket category when it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great point, and it speaks to the idea that what the market really hates is uncertainty. That's what's freaking everybody out. If we knew what it was one way or the other, we could deal with it, but we don't know which way that this thing is, and that's what's freaking everybody out. So
Dylan's right. We have legal Airbnb vacation rental that won't get pulled. It's under 300,000. You can get legal vacation rentals on Oahu still under in a reasonable price point. 100%.
Wow, that's awesome. And yeah, that's very, very, very true. Cool. Hey, really quick, before we go to Dylan, want to give a quick shout out to, well, first of all, Travis, I'm glad that you're laughing, because that was the intent. We want you to have a good time. Glad that you're here. Kathy, welcome back. It's been a while. Kathy Stellman is giving us her aloha, and we are glad to hear it. So we're gonna. Oh, this is great, because we got the Big Island foodie here. So Jesse says locals love force. Is it force in one way or fork? Okay, fork. Okay, so it's not a typo.
Outstanding. I've been there. It's outstanding.
All right, yeah. Farm to table, freshest seafood, boat to plate. Chef Alan Hess makes his own smoked brisket and bacon. Live music, great energy, affordable, best service. Damn, I gotta check that out when I'm in Waimea. So yeah. Whew. Dylan, what's your favorite food place? Where's your best dive in Kona or Hilo or whatever?
this is the easiest question to answer in the world for me. And I'm gonna be biased and just focus on Kona on this one. But if you come to Kona, there's two restaurants you have to go to. And coincidentally, I wasn't planning for this, but I went there last night. So last night I went with my dad and my auntie and my son to Managos, and it's an old historic hotel. It's been owned by the family for over 100 years. It claims to be the oldest restaurant in Hawaii. You know, I don't know if that's been independently verified, but it's been featured in lots of different media and stuff. But it is like walking into a time capsule. Like you walk into it, and you know the building is gotta be 60 or 70 years old. It started off as like, you know, a small building. It got bigger and bigger and bigger, but historic building, and very simple menu. The menu's on like a just a cork board on the wall, and it's got like hamburger steak, pork chops, teriyaki chicken, you know, some fried fish, some stuff. But it's got like 15 things in the menu, and you just order off. You just look at the wall and you order what you want. And the cool thing about it, and you don't really see this anywhere, is you just get three sides, like whatever they decided to cook that day. So it's a really family style where they bring out three sides, they bring out a bowl of rice, and you just order your entree, and then the entree comes out like 10 minutes later, and it's like you just share everything. And it's very, very local style and very reminiscent of a past era. And some of the best food. They're famous for their pork chops, like some of the best pork chops you'll ever eat anywhere. And they say it's because like the grill is like 100 years old, right? It's so well seasoned that the pork chops are amazing. So that's the first one, is Managos. And then the second one is Tashima's. It's another 100-year-old restaurant, still run by the same family. They did some light upgrades during COVID, like some new flooring and stuff, but very classic. It's the same way it's been for 40 years since I started going there. It's really home cooked Japanese food. So no sushi. Like I think like sushi is like an Americanized, like, you know, fancy sushi is not like a real Japanese thing, or that's not how Japanese people cook at home. But just very down home cooked. Like you feel great after you eat it. You know, like, you know, some food you don't feel great after you eat it. Like you just feel great. And probably my favorite restaurant in the world. I've gone there literally hundreds of times, almost like once a week. I go there with my kids on the weekend. They have a special thing on the weekend called the pupu platter, and it's sashimi, vegetable tempura, and terry beef with a bunch of Japanese sides on a tray. It's amazing. So that's my two highest recommendations, and they're easy to get into most cases. I mean, you don't really need a reservation, and very affordable, and just amazing food. So
that is the best. Thank you. Yeah, I should be unmute. I mean, that's. I think that thanks, Dylan. That's a great recommendation. I think, but the part that really sticks out to me is that total local out, kind of a place where you just kind of walk in and you're there, right? And Jesse agrees. Yes, Managos, family style, exactly. And Life on the Big Island says 2,000 pounds of pork chops every month. That's a lot of pork chops. Yeah. For Ashley, I just keep thinking about, for a vegetarian like Ashley, that's got to be an amazing statistic to behold. That is.
I will also shout out, Ashley, if you come to Kona, we have this. It's kind of like just like a kiosk, but it's in the middle of a parking lot. It's called Herbivores. Have you ever heard of Herbivores?
No.
It's like the best vegan food ever. Like I'm a total carnivore, but like if I want to go eat like vegan food, that's where I go. And it's like you just drive up, and I think it used to be like a coffee shop. You know, like it's just really small, but they have just amazing vegans. They have a fake bacon that they make by themselves with like. They're like, it's like rice paper, and they put like seasoning in the middle, and they layer it, and then they make it crispy, and it's like, they have a BLT that's like just amazing, and it's all vegan. So
I love that. Thank you, Dylan. You offered a little something for us all.
There you go. They got jackfruit nachos, you know, like so it's like kind of feels like it's meat, but it's nachos. It's amazing. So yeah, there you
I
go.
love that. There's a place on North Shore that does the same thing, and they have like vegan taco burritos, and they have the jackfruit nachos. And I love when a good place comes up, because good vegan food is like insanely delicious. Not the Beyond Burgers or anything like that, but people who actually take fruit and they make it into something like super flavorful. Oh, it's my favorite. I love it.
Yeah, it is quite an art. I remember we went once to this really fancy vegan restaurant, and they served they did sushi, and the sushi was done with sliced watermelon. Ooh. It was the craziest thing I ever had. It was like the way they did it was like, how in the hell do you, this is
So I know we're
some
going
sort of
into dive bars, but there is one of my favorite restaurants in Waikiki, and it's called Nature, and they do a 6-course meal.
we did that. Yes, we did
Yeah,
that.
they have the vegan one, and then they have the not vegan one, and both are just insane. So like if I do eat fish, so you can do like interchange, and it's about $100 for the vegan, 120 for the not vegan, which is super reasonable considering they do, the art where they use hydrogen or they use, different types of tactics to make your food into something else, like what you see on Food Network.
Yeah, it was
Super
wild.
must.
Great recommendation. Great recommendation. Okay, so since you broke the tradition and went into non-dive, I'm going to break it too. Our favorite places. We went there for Father's Day. Is for me, it's like hands down best place to go. This is not a dive. Is at the beach house at the beach something at the Sheraton Moana Resort. I mean, well, no, the Moana, the Moana Surf Rider. Man, the restaurant, I think it's called Beach Lanai, Beach House, Beach something at I think it's called Beach House. The Beach House at the Moana the food's really,
I,
really
I
good.
went
It's
there. I went there a
phenomenal.
few months ago, and it was mind blowing. I was like so
Oh
impressed.
my
Yeah,
God. The food is, and what's so mind blowing about it is that it's not, of course, it's the entire thing. It's Hawaii. So the food's really, really good. It's super good and not actually pretty reasonable for the caliber, but you're like on the beach. You're on the beach you're literally like steps. It's like right there. And it's a beautiful restaurant. It's classic. It's old school, and they restored it. It's fantastic. The service is phenomenal, and the food is great. That is the bomb. All right.
they had
This is a
lobster
bet.
sashimi. They had lobster sashimi when I went, which was the only time I've ever seen that. Like raw
Man,
lobster. It was killer.
raw.
I mean, but yeah,
Damn,
I've never seen that
that's
before.
crazy.
Yeah.
Is it under the banyan tree?
It's well, no,
Like
the
banyan tree's in
banyan
the
tree
middle,
is
right? And then it's
in
like
the middle,
around
right?
it. Yeah, yeah.
It's around it. There's lanai. There's a lanai on one side of it. The banyan tree is like where everybody kind of goes, and then there's a band there. There's live music. It's just phenomenal. This is a really bad idea. I am like now. I am like really hungry. This is a really bad
Starving.
idea. I should never. I should. This is the last time. This is the last time I'm going to do this because now I'm like not good. All right. All right, let's move on and let's see. I think I got everyone's. Oh yeah, Bob Carl's with us. Hey Bob. Hey dude, don't worry about it, man. You no need to be sorry. We're glad to have you here. I had to drop someone off at the airport this morning. It's always good to do. And thanks, Bob. Bob is a regular from the Hawaii Kai Peninsula. Welcome back, Bob. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. All right, let's hit this. We got some diamonds and deals I want to kind of talk about with our friends. Let's see what we've got in store over here. Let's hit this one from Hana Pepe Loop in Hawaii Kai. What is this, Ashley?
So this is an agent at our company, Shireen Duncan, and Kiko. That's a co-list. I did not have his name put on there for space, but this is actually 2 separate houses, and a guy bought it for each of his sons, and he sort of made it like a compound. These are completely separate TMKs, boundary lines. You could buy this whole estate and turn around and sell off one if you wanted to. They are oceanfront, cliffside. You can see these stairs that go down to the base here where you can go and you can surf or you can tide pool when the tide is down. It is about 14 million and both have their own saltwater pools. Both houses are combined at 7,617 square feet, and they all have retractable shades. The White House to the left also has the storm shutter. So if you leave for vacation, the whole house, you put down the storm shutter all the way down floor to ceiling on all of the windows. They have high-end just light switches where you're walking out of these massive bedrooms and you're hitting the bathroom light from 400 square feet away. Both just incredible properties in their own merit, being sold together for 14 million. It might be gone already. I had a buyer. I was trying so hard to get them to move on it before July, but I think it's going to go pretty quick because it is such a diamond. Incredible. If you go to the next slide, I have more photos of it, and you can see the White House and the other house individually. Unparalleled views. I don't even have a view pointing out, but you see Diamond Head from almost every room throughout the entire property. outdoor showers. It's truly a compound estate. It's very unique.
Unbelievable. Here's thank you, Ashley, for sharing this. I have something interesting to kind of to throw in here. Back when I first moved here, this was in the 80s. I had a friend that lived on Hanapepe Loop, and I don't know the address, but there's only a few homes on Hana. There's only like 3 or 4 homes. So this could have been one of them. It doesn't look anything like this now, but it was there, and that was when I used to, I used to hang out there, and the most stunning views, the walk down to the water, the craziest sunsets in the most beautiful place right on the water. It was one of the, if it was not one of these homes, it was right next to one of these homes. It was just something out of this world and unbelievable. Just crazy.
Surfing right outside of your window.
Right outside.
Unparalleled views. Oh,
Yep.
the sunsets. 14
I
million.
I actually went surfing right outside, just jumped in and one was right there. And yeah, it was kind of wild for me because as I was 21, right? So here, imagine, here's a kid from Chicago in the inner city. Your next step is with a friend in this place. It was like out of this world. It was out of this world. So anyway, thank you for jogging an incredible memory of my past that I had forgotten one, not thought about for a long time. And hey, speaking of someone else who's going to have an incredible dream, is Kinaya. Kinaya is Aloha checking in. Welcome, Kinaya. We arrived Thursday, so Kinaya is coming back to Hawaii. She's one of the founding members of the Islander Ohana, and so we've all been watching her journey. So Kinaya, welcome back. Hey, Kinaya, get that Hanapepe Loop property, man. 14 million, a cool 14 mil, slice it, sell the other one, or a vacation one. You can't do vacation rentals, but amazing. All right. Thanks, Ashley. Okay, let's go to the next one. What do we got over here? Who's this one?
All right, this is me. This is Bayshore Towers in Hilo. So there's like one high-rise building in Hilo, and this one is right on Hilo Bay. And I mean, you can see how ridiculous that view is right there. So that's the lanai view where you can sit and sip your morning coffee. It's nicely renovated. You can see the other pictures there. Great shape. This, you cannot short-term rent this. This is a residential complex, but 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's 900 square feet, so lots of space for a condo. 418,000. Show me where else in the state you can get one of these. Fee simple, right on the water, with those kind of views, that kind of condition. The HOA is 1,035, which is pretty much on par with most places here on the Big Island. But awesome opportunity, and these don't actually come on the market that often. So if you want to snatch one up and live right on Hilo Bay, you can walk to downtown Hilo and all the historic shops and restaurants and stuff down there. But awesome opportunity, definitely a deal and a diamond.
Man, what a great spot! I just that's such a great picture. Whoever took that, you could just so easily imagine yourself having the morning coffee and enjoying that
this
insane view.
And this is east side, so you get sunrises, right? So no sunsets over the water here, but sunrises over the water here.
Sunrises,
so
yeah, sunrise, incredible. Actually, thanks, Don. That is a great and truly amazing. All right, what do we got here? Kara.
In Maui, yes. So this one is definitely a diamond over here. I was speaking earlier about having a residential home with an attached or a detached ohana for an income opportunity. And this is truly a beautiful home in an incredible neighborhood, quiet cul-de-sac areas. It is 100 Honu Hula Place, and it's a single family home with an attached ohana. It is wide open spaces with beautiful cabinetry throughout, green area around the entire property, and it has 3 bedrooms, 2 bath in the main home. It's quite a large home, and it's wide open for you to design as you will. The attached ohana is a 1 bedroom, 1 bath at 512 square feet, and that's already an opportunity. You can see that there on the right-hand side. The last 2 pictures are the attached ohana, and the one above is this incredible chef's kitchen, large living area space. So if you love having all the family and friends together, you can create an amazing entertainment area, as well as the exterior offers great greenery and quiet space around it. And that one is currently at a $70,000 price decrease. And this is a snatch up, I would say. Call for showings right away. It's been on the market for 88 days, but I have to tell you, I think it's going to be going soon. And this is, again, $70,000 price decrease. And this is listed by Gene and Haley Becklin on the EXP crew.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, that's that second unit. That's a nice secondary income kind of opportunity, which is really really fantastic, and it's built, is ready to go. Excellent.
Very well
Hey,
done.
we got yes, excellent. We got a thing from Sheila. Sheila says, "Hey, enjoying the conversation. I'm glad you are. Looking for residential with Ohana, West Coast, Big Island. That's Dylan's where you want to go, man. Dylan, he could probably rattle up a few right off the top of his head that are ready for that. So, Sheila,
Reach out, Sheila.
reach out. There's links in the YouTube. Just click on the link. Or Dylan, if I was going to do a Google search to pull you guys up, what would I
I am the only
Dylan.
I am the only Dylan Nonaka in the. Actually, that's not true. My son is also. But if you Google me, you'll have 100 results. So it's really easy to find me online.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. Just Google for Dylan Nonaka. But Sheila, you want to get a hold of that.
Dylan at buybigisland.com is good, and Kona Broker on Instagram.
There you go, Dylan at Buy Big Island. That's it. Dylan, throw the your email address in the chat so Sheila can pick it up. That'd be the good way to do it. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Okay, great. All right, excellent, great, gang. Let's it is time to start to close this bad boy down. So we're gonna close with we have some closing motivational thoughts, and if you've got some, we'd love to hear what you got. It's a great time to kind of share your thoughts, share what motivates you, and let's start off with Ashley. Ashley, what's yours, and what's it mean to you?
Life is too short to be serious all the time. If you can't laugh at yourself, call me. I'll laugh at you.
I love it.
That's excellent.
It's getting stressful. So I love to just stop and joke and not talk real estate and just, be joyous. And I have no problem making fun of you. So
there you go.
Call me.
That's it. Well, hey, Ashley, that's an open call to you. If you want, call me. I'll laugh at you too. So if you need a good laugh, I will happily oblige. Thank you. That is, you cannot. Yes, we got to take life seriously, but at the same time, you can't take it that seriously. You can't take it that seriously. So, definitely well said, Ashley. Thank you. Kara, what's yours?
Today, you can make the world a bit more beautiful by being a rainbow in somebody else's cloud. We all know that there's a lot of stress out there, but you get to choose how you show up, not only for yourself, but for other people. When people are coming on down and they're sad and nasty, you can still choose to be the beautiful rainbow in their cloud. So that's that for today.
That's it, man. I love it. That is I absolutely love it. You know what's really fun about I was just talking about this the other day, and I was sitting on the I was standing on the beach doing my afternoon meditation, and I saw this beautiful rainbow, and at the same time, in a few seconds later, a light rain. Right, so I was like, it's like the old thing is like you can't have rain without the rainbows, right? This is the thing, you can't have rain without the rainbows, and that really kind of stuck out to me. The rain was light, of course. It's Hawaii. It was perfect rain. It was over in a few seconds, and I was dry before. I never got a chance to be wet. Right, it's the rain that never makes you wet. Mm-hmm. But I was just remarking about that and how much I love rainbows and about that significance. All right, thank you, Dylan. What's yours?
I've been on this kick lately of we think that we're so smart nowadays with all this technology and AI and all this stuff, but as Peter always reminds us of with Proverbs, like there's so much wisdom that is ancient. I mean, this is an ancient Chinese philosopher, but there's so much of this that I've been coming across so much of this lately. But this is one that just always I try and remember to be humble and know that what you don't know. So to know that you do not know is best. To pretend to know when you do not know is a disease. And we see this all the time, I think, in life and in business, of people who pretend to know or aren't willing to admit that they don't. And it's really something that holds us back in life. So just love this. And this is from, thousands of years ago. And all the stuff that these folks came up with still applies today. And there's so much wisdom to be learned from the past.
So true. So true. I mean, it is that I truly believe that it is the wisdom of the past that we stand on the shoulders of the wisdom of the past, and to ignore that, is ignore that at your own peril. There are lessons that There are lessons that have evolved or proven themselves over thousands of years, and to not take those is your
Have,
loss
have
if
have
you
you
miss
heard of the
one.
book Outwitting the Devil by
No, I have
Napoleon
not.
Hill? So this is crazy, guys. This is maybe a good show ender too, but I recommend to you guys is Napoleon Hill wrote like Think and Grow Rich. You know, he's one of the first kind of guys in the like the personal development space. But anyways, I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
know this
awesome.
about this book, but Outwitting the Devil was released in 2011. He wrote it in like 1938, but there was so much controversial stuff in it that his wife didn't want him to release it, and then when he died and went to his state, the state didn't want to release it, and they finally in 2011 released this book, and it's basically him interviewing the devil is the premise of this book, and all the stuff that negative energy does to bring us down and impede success and stuff. But it is wild how like it feels like it was written in 2011, but like the stuff that he talks about is he wrote it right after the depression, and then they released it right after the great recession, right? So it's like somewhat of a similar time, but it's pretty short, it's not a long one. But I just a friend recommended
Interesting.
to me recently, and I just it blew my mind at how applicable it is today. It almost feels like it's somebody, a modern author wrote it, and the way it's presented as a discussion in an interview is it's super easy to read and entertain and follow, because it's like him asking the devil questions. The devil can't lie, so he has to give them honest answers, and it's great. So anyways, Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill, great book.
That's excellent recommendation. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and thank you, Naomi Grace, for your feedback. I hope you're enjoying what we're all kind of saying over here and getting a kick out of the laughs. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, great. Well, we're gonna one way we're gonna outwit the devil is by calling on the wisdom of God, and I'm gonna hit it with my of course my favorite. This one really kind of struck me. I was thinking about it the other day. Proverbs 16:3. Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. And that it's like what's he saying there, right? What they're saying is that align yourself, commit your work to a divine purpose, right? And when you commit yourself to a divine purpose, when you commit yourself to the divine, your thoughts will be established, meaning that all the ideas, everything that you need, all the generation of where you need to go, that will come as a result. And that really kind of struck me, and I really kind of I've been reading Proverbs now for 5 years that we've been doing this show, which is hard to believe that we've been doing it for 5 years, but it's this one really, kind of really stuck out to me. Commit your
Well,
work to the Lord.
one of the core premises of Outwitting the Devil is the concept of drifters, and people not having purpose in life. And if you have definitive purpose in life, it changes your life. And so many people just are kind of drifting through life without any direction and understanding what they do. And this is totally related to that. Love it.
Totally, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny, but okay. So we're gonna riff on here for a little bit. So on the Napoleon Hill, and look, here's what's kind of fun. So back when I was young, I really got into the whole personal development thing, and manifestation, the secret, manifesting your this and that, and I did reach a level where I felt pretty confident in the ability to kind of manifest sort of whatever I wanted to manifest. But then the question becomes, okay, now that you could do that, what in the hell is it that you want to manifest, right? Who's really, and actually it became a burden. It became a burden. And a burden because like, well, what do you do, right? Who is Lord here? Who is Lord, right? Is it me? Because that's the Lord a lot of the New Age stuff kind of teaches. You're God, right? You are, or do you say, okay, I can do anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align myself with the divine, and I'm going to use the divine to guide my path. And then I'll use those manifestation things to do what the divine wants me, or what the divine alignment guides me to do. So anyway, I thought that was just
Deep.
a
That's
little bit
deep.
of a
I like
riff.
it. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, yeah. All right, next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right, folks. It's been a great show. We're gonna see you. We're gonna see you folks in 2 weeks. Have a great one. Lopaka's got a comment over here. We're gonna hit it. People forget we're 130s into American occupations. Yeah, we got drifters, and homelessness is a symptom of we have many symptoms of many problems. Thanks, Lopaka, for sharing. We are going to see you all in 2 weeks. Take care. Why don't we let's go counterclockwise, say goodbye. Ashley, then Kara, and then Dylan.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Aloha.
Aloha, everyone.
Yeah, hello everybody. Thanks for watching. you guys in a couple
Have a
weeks.
great one, folks. See you folks in a couple weeks. Aloha.